Hello everyone, this is Manjula Devi P, working as Assistant Professor in GFGC Kanakpura. So today we will discuss about one of the most important topic in investment management, that is the concept of risk and return. As we were talking in the previous sessions, when we talk about investment management, we cannot forego this concept of risk and return, because the main purpose of investment is to earn a return, and whenever we talk about return, there is always risk attached to it. Okay, so let's see what are the different returns we can expect and what are the different type of risks which are attached to investment management. So before that, let's discuss one of the very important concept before we go to risk and return. What is the major objective of investment? Like, why do people investment? Why do people make investment? Okay. So first and foremost, people do invest because of earning income out of it. If you are investing or if you are putting your money just for the present consumption, then it doesn't constitute investment. Suppose I have money, I am going and I am spending, I am doing shopping, or I am going for a foreign trip. That's not investment, because you are spending it. It is considered as expenditure. But when it comes to, in order to call it as investment, you should be foregoing the present benefit in order to get a future returns or future benefit. Then only it is called as investment. So the first and foremost objective is to earn an income out of it. Okay. Then the next one, the income could be in the form of capital appreciation. What is capital appreciation? Suppose I am buying a land by investing 10 lakhs today. After 3 years, I expect that the land is going to fetch a good value, the area is good. After 3 years, suppose if I want to dispose that, say that 10 lakhs worth land which I had bought 3 years ago, today it may be 15 lakhs. That means my 10 lakhs rupees of investment has grown into 15 lakhs. There is a capital appreciation of 5 lakhs that has happened in the investment. That is my one of the objective. Then again, some of the investments also give you the returns, periodic returns. Maybe I am investing in a bank which gives me every month interest. Okay, I get interest on my FD, or it gives me interest every year, once a year, or I am investing in the shares, I do get dividends. Okay, that means I am expecting a periodic return from my investment. That is my one of the objective. Then safety and security of funds. So my investment objective is also to safeguard my money, to keep my funds in a safe way. So instead of keeping money in my cupboard, I keep in my bank FD, so that it is safe. It also gives me return, isn't it? So safety and security is also one of the main objective of investment. Then take a considerable amount of risk to get a return. Suppose if I just keep in post office, the rate of interest what they give is much less, isn't it? Instead of that, I may keep some money, or I may invest some money in mutual funds, or I may invest some money in the shares, so that I am ready to take some amount of risk to get the return. And also my overall objective is to get maximum return with the minimum risk that I can take. Okay, I want to maximize my return, but by keeping my risks minimum. Okay, but of course risk will be involved, but a best investment or an optimum investment or ideal investment is that where I get maximum return with the minimum risk possible. Then again, liquidity of funds. Liquidity means the convertibility of the assets into cash. So if I am keeping in an investment where I am ready to convert it to liquid cash whenever I want. even that is one of the objective. Then again, tax consideration, as most of the investment give the tax benefit to the investors. Like there may be some exceptions, some deductions which are available under section 80C, 80D. So all those benefits you can get if you are investing in those particular investment avenues. In order to avail those tax benefits also, people may invest. So these are some of the objectives of making investment in the securities. Now let's go to the concept of return and risk. As I told, one of the major objective of investing is to earn a return. When there is no return, then nobody would like to invest in it, isn't it? So again, earning good returns is one of the main objective. Now what are the returns basically? These are the expected earnings from the investment. The earnings could be in the form of periodic cash receipts or in the form of capital gain. So I get dividends, that is my return, that is periodic cash receipt once a year, or maybe I also may get interim dividend. But at the same time, my share price also might increase. Means I have invested share 100 rupees per share say 6 months ago. Today when I see the share price is say 120 rupees, means there is a 20 rupees hike in the share price per share. That means there is a capital gain. So the return can be in the form of periodic cash receipts or in the form of capital gain. Totally this is the expected outcome or expected earnings that I can expect from the investment. Then what is risk? Concept of risk. Risk refers to a situation where there is a possibility of loss. So this is a situation where there is a chance that I may be getting a loss. It is losing something or suffering loss due to future uncertainties. So here, of course, when I talk about returns, when I talk about capital gain, at the same time, there may be chance that I may lose my investment, or I may lose the dividends that I was supposed to get, or the share price might fall. That means because of future uncertainty, I may lose my returns. That means risk. So it includes exposure to adverse situations. Adverse situation like losses or like losing your investment itself, the worst case scenario, you are losing the whole investment. So that is called as risk. Higher the unpredictability, greater the risk. Like you are investing in some avenues where you cannot predict it easily, then that means you are getting into higher risk. So higher the unpredictability, higher the risk. Suppose if I am investing in a bank offers me an interest of say 8% per annum. So there is no much unpredictability there, isn't it? Because it's a nationalized bank, it has promised me a return, then the risk is less over there, isn't it? Or I am investing in a new company, but that new company, it may do well, it may not do well. So there is a lot of unpredictability. So there is a lot of risk involved. Or it may do exceptionally well and your investment may get doubled in just 1 year, isn't it? So there is of course risk involved. Types of risks, very important. Anyway, in future we are going to discuss about it in detail. When we talk about risk, it can be broadly divided into systematic risk and unsystematic risk. Very importantly, what is a systematic risk? Systematic risk refers to that portion of variation in return caused by factors that affect the price of all securities. That means this is a risk which is common for every investment avenue, whether I am investing in company A or company B, or industry A or industry B, or investment avenue A or B, anything, this risk is always there. That is called as systematic risk. So it is common for all the securities. So this happens because of market risk, interest rate risk, purchasing power risk. So as I told, in the market anything can happen. So recently we saw corona. So lockdown happened, so every business had to close, or a new policy comes which every business has to follow. Petrol prices are hiked, so everybody has to pay the same high price, isn't it? That means it is common for everyone. It is because of the changes in the market situation. Again, interest rate risk. So here again the interest rates are mainly administered by the monetary policy of RBI. Now if RBI itself changes its policy, then it's same for you and me. I cannot say I am in a better position because I have to follow whatever the rates which are fixed by the authorities. Then when it comes to purchasing power risk, when it comes to inflation, okay, again it is common for everyone, whether the inflation increases in the economy, even I have to pay high prices, even you have to pay high prices. And when we have to pay high prices, the value of our investment or the returns what we get, the actual worth of returns also would be less. Okay. So that means these are the common risks, systematic risk, which is common for everyone. Then we have unsystematic risk. This refers to that portion of risk which is caused due to the factors unique to the related firm or industry. So here this is the risk which is specific. Unsystematic risk is also called as specific risk. So this is the risk which is specifically for that particular firm or industry. For example, we are talking about tobacco industry. Suppose if government bans tobacco, then all the cigarette manufacturing companies has to close down. So then it is a risk only for the cigarette industry or the tobacco industry. Others are not affected by it, isn't it? Petroleum is not affected by the close down of cigarette factories, isn't it, in a direct way. So that means that is specific only to the particular firm or industry. So this happens because of business risk, financial risk, credit or default risk, or non-financial risk. What is business risk? Like every business has their own operation and they operate at their own risk return level. That means a company A is operating and they do have their own operating cycle. They have purchases, they have sales, they have expenses, incomes and all that. Now if something happens in specific to their operating cycle, they are not able to produce goods at the optimum level, or their cost of production becomes more, or their price or selling price becomes more. Because of that their sales reduces, or because of non-availability of raw materials their production reduces, or because of labor strike they are not able to produce. So likewise, so anything can happen in the business. So then that is called as business risk. So for that particular business, for running their operation, they may get into a loss situation. Then financial risk. So again, what is financial risk? So here, if the particular company has made a wrong financial structure, like the proportion of debt, capital and hybrid capital, they have made mistake in making the mixture of the capital, maybe at a point where they have to pay more to the outsiders than some left to the owners, where they have no funds to pay the fixed interests or the fixed obligations that they have. So then they may get into a situation where they are having a financial risk. So credit or default risk. So this happens when your clients, when your major customers become bankrupt, or you are not able to get the money from them, then that is the risk. So a major chunk of your current assets goes as bad debt, then you get into a financial trouble. That is specific to your company because it has happened with your customers. The non-financial risk, as I was talking about cigarette industry, the policy might have changed specific to your industry, or the consumers' preferences might have changed, or like today we see so many products which are outdated. So earlier say we had a tape recorder, now there is no tape recorder, isn't it? And then CDs came, today there is no CD, isn't it? Then Blu-ray disc and so many things came. Today entire music industry has changed. People have gone for online music. isn't it? So all those tape recorder, all those CD, every gramophone, everything is gone. So it's a non-financial risk because of the changes in the situation, or sometimes changes in policy also poses a risk on the specific businesses or firms. Then that is called as unsystematic risk. Yeah, just to conclude, in this session we discussed about the objectives of investment in securities, or objective of investment. Basically, you want to earn a return, you want to earn an income, you want to make capital gain, you want to have a tax advantage, you want to enjoy the liquidity. So because of all these things, you choose your investment, that is your objective. Then of course, whenever we talk about investment, risk and return goes hand in hand. Return is the expected gain from the investment. When it comes to risk, it is the uncertainty in the returns or the chances of incurring the losses. Again, risk can be divided into systematic and unsystematic risk. Systematic risks are the risks which are common for everyone, the whole economy. When it comes to unsystematic risk, it is specific for your business. Okay, you are going to affect it. You are going to get affected because of that risk. Okay, so anyway, businesses have to operate with both this systematic and unsystematic risks. These are some of the references which I have used for making this video. You can go through with this textbooks for getting the more information on the topics discussed. Thank you very much.